This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Hello and welcome to week 3 of Primetime Blitz. I'm the host, Big B, followed alongside my co-host here, Chris P. Bacon. How you doing, buddy?
I am good. Another week of NFL and a lot of drama.
Yep, and we're joined by halfway around the world. It's morning tailgate over there because that's where he's at. But Primetime Moose, how you doing, bud?
Oh boy, these early mornings kill me. But like Bacon said, it's week 3, more drama from week than we had week 1. It's the NFL. It's exactly what we signed up for, and it's getting better week after week.
Yep, and then we got up there in the corner proudly wearing that Bears jersey. Kevin the rookie, how you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good.
All right. So let's recap what happened week 2. With our teams. Tim, I'll let you have the honors first since you're the only 2-0 team here.
It's fun, and I'm to say that we're 2-0 after last week's game is kind of it's kind of a blessing. I wasn't expecting that, especially the way that game went. I love listening to Broncos fans going that the refs gave that game away, and I'm thinking you guys almost stole one in the first half where you had 2 pass interference calls that weren't called, and then Xavier Howard thought it'd be great to just forget that he played defense and started holding all over the field like he was an offensive lineman. Other than that, what can you say? Daniel Jones is – I bet you Giants fans are really kicking themselves now they don't have Daniel Jones, and it's the fact that it proves that you needed an offensive line because look what Daniel Jones can do when you have time. He had the weapons, but now he's got time to do something, and he doesn't have to run for his life. I'm happy I'm happy that we're 2-0. We kind of get like a semi-bye week with the Titans coming in this week, and
Whoa! Don't get too confident.
I thought we were going to lose last week's game, so I'm looking at. There's a difference between the Titans and the Broncos. The Broncos are a team that's looking at the playoffs, and the Titans. Don't get me wrong; they're a young team. They've got talent, but you're looking at a team on the up and coming. But I'm excited. I was excited last week. I'm going to do something this week that I didn't do last 2 weeks. So in my picks, so this is going to be interesting. So I'm all ready for the Titans and bring us the Titans.
All right, Kevin. I know the first 2 weeks haven't looked good, but how about the Bears?
Well, let me tell you this. I think when they were doing off-season workouts, I think I said this before. I think Caleb Williams he was training with Jay Cutler because that man cannot throw to a receiver to save his life. He seems to overthrow everybody. You got DJ Moore. The guy can jump. He can catch just about anything, but he's not going to catch something that you're throwing 15 yards down the field past him. So once again, and I'm going to say it again. I've been saying it for about, almost 2 years now. The Bears once again got the worst quarterback in the draft, like they're good at doing. I mean, I rather taken JJ's performance last week, even though that was rough, rather than deal with this clown of a quarterback. It's literally like watching Jay Cutler all over again, except can run. That's practically what it is. We also lost Jalen Johnson. Sounds like he might be out for the year, which sucks because he's our best defender. So if you guys have, some mid receivers for fantasy football and they're playing the Bears, you might want to start them because you got your best corner out. You got a corner who likes to celebrate and lose the game, against the Commanders. Then you got linebackers who can't stay healthy either. So we're, again, I'd be surprised if we win a game.
All right. Thomas, how's it going, bud? Normally see you on the wrestling show. It's not often we see you on the football show. Chris, Cowboys 1-1.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on them so far?
I think they could have been 2-0 if it wasn't for that lightning incident week 1. But week 2, you had the overtime drama. You had, the Cowboys winning it on kicks, and not only to end the regulation, but in overtime. And even though you're out, you have Deron Bland out for a few weeks. Things are looking up, I guess. We'll see this week, I guess, against the Bears.
Okay, yeah.
I think you'll be fine.
Yeah. My team, the St. Paul Saints Bears, they won 2 games. The Bears did win both of their away games.
They did.
They're preparing for their home opener. Vikings, on the other hand, man, I said it before, and I know I picked them to do some damage this year, and I think the defense is still going to keep us around. Hopefully, JJ comes back healthy. Wentz, if he balls out these 3 games, I don't think we see McCarthy until, maybe a Wentz injury. But, if they go 2-1 and 3-0, it's going to be hard to bring McCarthy back. I know he's the future, and I know in sports unwritten rule, you don't lose your job over an injury. But it would Viking fans will be calling for people's heads if they went 3-0 and they brought McCarthy back and we had the same outlook. So, well, that being said, guys,
I think he's going to be out a couple weeks.
Yeah, he's going to be out at least 3
weeks.
3 weeks. So,
right, in one of those games, you're going to London.
Yeah, both of them actually will be over in London. They get back-to-back weeks over there. So, and who knows? I don't know if McCarthy's even going to travel with them. I don't see why he would, but anyways, guys, let's get our second topic, some NFL news. Chris, what do you got on the docket for NFL news for us?
You mentioned about McCarthy being out with injury. We also have, I think it's Joe Burrow out with plantar fasciitis or toe, some kind of toe injury.
Some kind of turf toe. I know Fields has been ruled out.
Yep, with a concussion, I think.
Purdy's been ruled out. But
McCaffrey.
Any big signings that we missed this week?
Clowney.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go, Chris.
Another one.
Clowney signing.
I don't know if
Hopefully
this is new news or if this is old news, but the Commanders signed Preston Smith.
Okay, I must have missed that one. Didn't see it, but Chris,
and
you go from 1 week to trading your big dog, and now you go sign another big dog. I know Tim had a little bit to say earlier today about that signing, but Chris, what do you think? Clowney coming to Dallas.
hopefully it's good. I know he was a good player with Houston. I don't know how far he's dropped since then, but I mean anything can help at this point. I feel like.
Yeah, Kevin, what do you think about the Clowney signing in Dallas?
Yeah, like Chris is saying, if he's anything like he was on Houston, it's a good signing. But that's still to come.
Yeah, Tim, I know we talked a little bit today on behind the scenes on C2C Wrinkle, but what's your thoughts on the signing?
I think it's kind of weird. Clowney being at his age, I think it might have been a little bit of a overstep, especially when you have somebody like Christian Wilkins still out there. I think Wilkins being 2-3 years younger than Clowney is, I think it would have been a better move because he can both play the D tackle and the DN spot. I think it's going to be okay, but you're not getting the Clowney of the Titans. You got a better chance of Wilkins of being what he was with the Dolphins than Clowney with the Titans. But we'll see. I've been proven wrong plenty of times before, and I hope for the sake for the Cowboys that Clowney works out the way that they hope. But you're trying to replace Micah Parsons with Clowney, and you're looking at two different time zones at this point.
Yeah, I'm with Tim. I think they should have went with Richardson, a little bit younger. And if you're trying to replace him, you go with the younger guy. So maybe the money didn't work, or maybe Jerry Jones is just kind of pulling Jerry Jones things and thinks he can get the best out of Clowney like he was in Tennessee. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes. We'll see if it helps the Cowboys this week. He'll probably be on some kind of snap count like normal when people join new teams midweek. So we'll see what goes there. So moving on. Kevin, the rookie, what's our one tough question this week?
So the question I came up with is, what is wrong with the Broncos' offense and defensive woes thus far? Are they frauds, or is it too early to assume?
Tim, what do you think?
I don't think they're. Let's see. Considering I saw him last week, I don't think they're. I think no. There's a reason why this is a one tough question, I guess. Holy heck. I think it's too early to tell. We're talking week 2. From what I saw, I thought both Denver's offense and defense played pretty good. Yeah, I know they gave up 29 to Indy, but still, Bo only had one interception late in that game that really gave him the game. There was a fumble too that kind of helped. I don't know. I think it's just way too early to tell with Denver. I think this is a good team. I think this is a playoff team. I think if I'm not mistaken, I've got them winning the West. It's a stumble. They're 1-1. Anytime you're a game ahead of the Kansas City Chiefs, I think it's a great spot to be. If you're looking down to the Kansas City Chiefs, you're good as long as you can keep that pace. Problem is you're in the division with the Chargers. I think it's just way too early to tell. You got Bo Nix on a sophomore season. I think it's just way too early to tell with Denver.
All right, Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean it is too early to tell. You're through 2 games of the season. Yeah, you're gonna have some up and down games. you're not always going to play well, but you're going to have to find ways to win games. I think it's too early.
Yeah, I think it's too early. I mean, yeah, they got some film on him now. Sophomore slump jinx is in play. Denver's just have got to make adjustments themselves, and Bo Nix has to make adjustments. I mean, they can't keep doing the same thing over and over and expect things to work out because teams got the book, so they got to make some adjustments, different reads and stuff like that. So, Kevin, what's your thoughts? You brought the topic up. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. They got a lot of teams. They have film on these guys already. So, and Bo Nix, he's not playing up to par. So he, like you said, he's having a slump. But I think the defense, they haven't been playing terrible, but again, they haven't been playing the best. I think they just need to make some changes, like you said, and see if start there, see what happens.
All right. Chris, why don't you give us our little history lesson for today?
So, today is the NFL's birthday. 105 they turned, and out of the teams that started out in 1920, 2 of them are still around.
Yeah.
Who do you think, or who do you guys think are the 2 teams?
Green Bay.
Sorry, Chris, you cut out there. What was the question again?
Out of the teams that were in the NFL in 1920, which 2 teams today are still around from that?
Oh, I got both of them. I know both of them.
Okay.
I mean,
which one?
1920. I mean, I would right off the bat say Packers and Bears.
That's it. Those are the 2.
You got one of them.
What?
Yes, Packers is one of them.
They started in 21.
Packers did?
Mm-hmm. So you got the Bears.
The Bears.
Okay.
And the Giants?
No. The Lions.
The Lions. That's the other team.
Okay.
The Lions and the Bears are the only 2 teams that are still around from 1920.
Nice. Well, that's a good one. Didn't know that. Did not think of that one. So, all right, guys. So let's get into it. Week 3. Tim, you had a nice bounce back week. Chris is in first, 22-10. Chris has missed both of his locks. Myself and Tim are at 21-11. We both hit one of our locks over the last 2 weeks. The rookie, Kevin, hitting both of his locks. He's sitting at 20-12. And just in case anybody's wondering, against the point spread, ESPN is 25-7, and they hit both of their big locks by the point spread. So, that being said, let's get into it. Week 3 starts off tomorrow. Dolphins 0-2 versus the Bills 2-0. The Bills are 11.5-point favorites. Chris, who do we got?
I don't think this is a surprise in this AFC North matchup. I got Buffalo.
Tim?
Yeah, this is if Josh Allen plays Josh Allen football. Heck, if Josh Allen has the flu of food poisoning and comes out with a broken face, he still beats the Dolphins by 10 points. It's this defense in Miami just sucks. It's incredibly terrible how bad they are. It's crazy. And then you put him against the guy who's probably on the inside track to winning the MVP this year, on a way to probably a Super Bowl. Yeah, this thing's going to look ugly. I think it's going to look ugly quick. And poor Prime's got this on their channel, and they're going to go, well, at least we've got other great entertaining things that we can send you to.
Yeah. So you're going Bills.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Kevin.
I'm going to go the Bills as well.
Yeah, short week. The way Dolphins have looked, I'm actually kind of surprised this point spread is probably not a little bit bigger. But yeah, if Buffalo plays Buffalo football, this game is going to be double digits easily. So yeah, we got the sweep there of the Bills. Next, we got a battle of backup quarterbacks. The Bengals 2-0 versus Minnesota 1-1. The point spread has Minnesota favored by 2.5. So Tim, what's your thoughts?
Why do I have to pick this game again? This one's going to be. It depends. It depends here. And this is another game I think we talked about backstage of our other show, and it was like, if Carson Wentz plays like Carson Wentz did when he in his first year in Philadelphia, there's the Cincinnati Bengals have a problem because you've got all the weapons on that side. God, I don't remember who I took at this point. I got this crap written down. Okay. I don't feel so bad. You got what did you say the point spread was again?
2.5.
2.5. And they give you 3 just for being at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? He's not Kirk Cousins playing at primetime, so that helps. And Cincinnati's the Bengals offense, the Bengals defense hasn't played all that great considering they're the 24th best defense in the league. Problem is, like you throw out whose offenses are better because you got backup quarterbacks because the Vikings have the 31st offense. Maybe this is the game where they come out and make their numbers better, but I'm still going to go with the Vikings still. The 31st offense versus the 24th defense. Yeah, I'm still going Vikings.
All right, Kevin, what's your thoughts?
I have the Vikings as well to win this one. I think it's going to be a close game because, again, it is backup quarterbacks. I think it could be a toss-up, but I'm going to go Vikings.
Holy cow, look who we got joining the show, Mr. Mess Around. How's it going, bud? Looks like he might still be setting up. So, Chris, or actually, I'll go. I got the Vikings. I hope Wentz plays like Wentz can pre-injury because, he was putting up MVP numbers when he was in Philly, got hurt. Of course, we know what happened after. So, Chris, who do you have? Bengals or Philly? Or Bengals or Vikings?
Bengals or Philly.
I got Minnesota by 7. Both quarterbacks are good, backup quarterbacks. You got Wentz, who is good as a starter, and he did win a Super Bowl with Philadelphia. I think that's probably where you got that Philadelphia reference in there, but I got Minnesota.
All right. So we're going to go with the next game. We got the Packers 7.5-point favorites over the Browns. Kevin, who do you have in that game?
The way that Packers defense has played the last 2 weeks, I think even if the Packers offense is bad, they're still going to come out and win this game.
All right. Yeah, Packers are 2-0. Browns are 0-2. So you're going Packers. Yeah, I'm going Packers too. I'm going to make a kind of a bold prediction here. If the Browns go 0-3, we're probably going to see one of the 2 rookie quarterbacks.
No, not that bold. Not that bold of a prediction.
Wow. Okay. Bold to where one of them's going to start next week, let's just say. So, Chris, what about you?
Yeah,
who do you have in the Packers versus Vikings or Packers versus Browns?
I think Cleveland's going to start preparing for the 2026 NFL draft because I got Green Bay winning this one.
All right, Tim.
Why do you have to do that every time I'm trying to breathe, dude? You've got the first defense, the number 1 defense in the league versus the number 3 defense in the league. But that's cool. because you got Green Bay, who's the number one defense. Cleveland, no, hold on, let me get that right. Yeah, the Green Bay's number one. Cleveland's number one defense in the league. You got the Packers, who are the number 3 defense in the league. But the funny thing is, the offenses are middle of the road. If I'm not mistaken, Cleveland has only lost. They've lost both their games by. Well, never mind. I forgot they played the Ravens last week. But
that one was by 41 points.
Yeah, 41. Yeah, they gave up 41 points. The week before, they only lost by a point. Yeah, I've got Green Bay, but I think this is gonna upset some Packer fans. I honestly think this game's going to be a lot closer than they give credit for, because you've got the 15th ranked offense going against the number 1 ranked defense in the league. You got the 15th in Green Bay going against Cleveland. And then you've got the 15th ranked offense in Cleveland going against the number 3 ranked defense in the league, with Cleveland going up against Green Bay. I think this game is going to be a lot closer. I think Jordan Love is going to have a babysitter, because I think Myles Garrett's going to be sitting in the backfield a lot of the time in this game. I think this game is going to be a field goal, because Green Bay tends to play down to teams that are less than they are. I honestly think this is only going to be a 3 to 4 point game.
All right. Mess Around's joining us, our good friend Mess Around. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Doing okay. You're just in time to pick your favorite team, the Packers versus the Browns. Who are you picking in that game?
You know I never pick Packers. It's not happening ever, unless they're playing like some crap team. But Cleveland's crap.
All right, so you're taking the Packers in a roundabout way.
Packers.
All right. So we got the 2-0 Colts versus the 0-2 Titans.
Browns with that.
Titans are favored
Upset
by 4.5.
win. They win by field.
What?
Well, the
I'm sorry. That's yeah, you're cutting it out pretty bad there, bud. So we'll try to keep an eye on that. But Chris, Colts versus the Titans.
Mike. You good now? My back?
You're frozen.
You're back.
Yeah. All right, Chris. Colts versus Titans.
It's going to be an interesting matchup, Colts and Titans. I got Tennessee, though.
All right, got Tennessee. Tim.
Hold on. Hold on.
What?
He just took the 10. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Everybody's allowed to their opinion, even if it's wrong. That's cool. No, I think bring on the Titans. I am so pumped for this game. I've got family members who are Titans fans who, and they don't like me right now, so that's cool. This is going to be silly, because truthfully, you've got the 25th best defense in Tennessee going against the number 1 offense in Indianapolis. I think just on that alone, you've got the number 2 quarterback in the league in Indiana Jones. You've got the number 1 running back in Jonathan Taylor. This game is only going to be close if we can't score, if we keep scoring field goals instead of touchdowns. I'd love to post that stat that everybody's been seeing on Facebook, that Indy's the only team to only had 1 punt in their first two games to start the season. I'd love to post that, but I won't. Problem is you've got the 32nd best offense in Tennessee going against the 4th best defense in Indy. I think Cam's going to have an okay day. But I don't think this is going to be close. And for the first time of the 2025 season, I am going to pick the Indianapolis Colts, which means I just jinxed them, so we're going to lose.
All right, Kevin. Colts, Titans.
Well, I'm hoping they don't lose, because I'm taking the Colts and I'm making that my lock for week 3.
Well, he's gotten both of his locks, so I'm good then.
Yeah, I'm taking the Colts. The Titans are the Titans. I think Tim laid out every scenario, rankings, and stuff like that. The only way the Colts don't win, and this could be put up on a, some kind of ridiculous comment chart or something. Colts don't win if they don't score. So if they're kicking field goals, they may not win, but they got to get some touchdowns in there. So, all right. So next game we got the Steelers at 1-1, 1.5 point favorites over the New England Patriots, who are also 1-1. Tim, who do you have in this game?
This is. I'm going to pull the bacon card right now. I'm taking the Patriots. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch, but I think this is where you're going to start seeing the old man behind the line in Pittsburgh start really showing his age. I think Vrabel is going to tune that defense up to go up against Pittsburgh. And I think Drake May is going to play to the best of his ability against this team. I think it's going to be a great game, but I think it's going to be New England.
All right, Kevin.
So we got one or two people that are taking New England so far. Is it just one?
Just me.
Just one right now. Tim started.
Well, I'm gonna make it a 1-on-1. I'm gonna take the Steelers.
Ooh, going to the Steelers. All right, I am going to the Patriots too. I think Tim again hit it on the head. I think we're going to start seeing A-Rod go start becoming an old man again, unless he gets some mushrooms in him. I don't know, but I think Patriots are going to put some pressure on him. So, Crispy, who do you have?
I got the Patriots in this one.
Okay. All right. Next game we got on the docket, we got the Rams, who are 2-0, versus the Eagles, a 3.5 point favorite, who are also 2-0. Kevin, who do you have in this matchup?
I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles.
All right. I also too going to take the Philadelphia Eagles. Right now, they're the defending champs. They're the team to beat, and being 2-0, going against 2-0, so this should be a good game. But
one thing I want to add to this game is I am rooting for Stafford, though. I want him to get his two touchdown passes, because if he does that, he becomes the 9th quarterback and passes Matt Ryan.
Okay, all right, Tim's favorite quarterback. All right, Chris, who do you have?
Unfortunately, and this hurts.
Uh-oh.
I got the Eagles.
He goes with the puns. He goes, unfortunately, this is going to hurt. Yeah, there go the puns. Great. Thanks, Chris.
All right, Tim, who do you have?
Well, I'm going to have the balls that Chris didn't have. It kind of was brought up in one of our groups about that the Eagles might be the worst 2-0 team in the league because they're 5 pushes failures away from losing 2 games. And that was nicely brought up by a nice man that's in our chat right now, in our comment section now, J Mac. So I'm gonna make this play, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to say that the Rams beat the Eagles.
All right, the Rams over the Eagles. Hey, what's up, J Mac? Yes, I said mushrooms. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers and his funny mushrooms. So next we got the Jets 0-2 versus the Buccaneers 2-0. Bucks are favored by 6.5. I got the Bucks. Justin Fields is out. I might have picked the Jets if they had Fields in there, but Bucks at home. I think this is going to be, Bucks are going to take care of business. Chris, who do you have?
Yeah, I got Tampa Bay as well. I think the Jets would have had a better chance if Fields was in there, but I know he's under concussion protocol. And who knows what's going to happen with their backup, but I got Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield.
All right. Tyrod Taylor's the backup over there.
Yeah.
So, Tim?
Yeah, I've got. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I think Baker's going to play Baker football. I'm going to make this my lock. I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
All right. Kevin.
Yeah, just like everybody said, if Fields was to play, I probably would have went the Jets. But I'm taking the Bucks to win as well.
All right, J-Max also taking the Bucks. He also said Rams all day. Yeah, they can stop that tush push. But next game we got the almighty Raiders at 1-1 versus the Commanders. Also at 1-1, 3.5 for the Commanders. I do not know, but I think JD is questionable for this game. So, Chris, who do you have in this?
I'm going to make this pick my lock, and I'm not sure if this is going to work out, but I'm going Raiders.
Going Raiders in the lock. Tim.
Well, I'm going to break your heart then. I gave you the favor with the Eagles, with the Rams taking the Eagles. This is actually a surprisingly close game, I think. It's all going to depend if Daniels is playing. That's the whole thing. As of right now, he's questionable. He's questionable. But yeah, I've got the Commanders beating the Raiders, so I'm taking back my Rams pick at this point. I'm evening myself against the East. So,
all right, Kevin, who do you have?
Yeah, I'm going to take the risk as well, hoping that Jaden Daniels does play. So I'm taking the Commanders, especially after watching how the Raiders played last week. Yeah, I think I'm okay with taking the Commanders for this one.
Yeah, this could be a surprising game of the week. Depending again if Jaden Daniels plays. J-Mac with the funny one. Depending on if Geno Smith is colorblind again. I got the Commanders too. I think this is going to be a good one, even if JD doesn't play. But all right, we got the Falcons 1-1, 5.5 point favorites over the 0-2 Panthers. Tim, who do you have in this one?
I for some reason made it a point to watch the last minute and a half of the Panthers Cardinals game, and for some reason the Panthers found a way themselves back into that game, and yet all of a sudden they get past the 50 in the last minute and a half, and they couldn't get past the 30. And it seemed like it became a yellow flag game, and nobody wanted to move between the 30 and the 50. I think that's pretty indicative of what the Panthers are doing. I like Atlanta. I think Penix is going to have a field day against the Panthers defense. I've got the Falcons, and I think this is actually going to not be as close as they want to think it's going to be.
Kevin?
The Panthers definitely made an interesting game last week, and I think that's the reason why I'm going to take the Panthers to beat the Falcons.
Ooh, Panthers over Falcons. I am taking the Falcons. I think Penix, Bijan. I think Bijan's just going to run all over these guys. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a career game for Bijan. I'm taking them in my lock as the Falcons are going to take care of the Panthers. Chris.
By 6 points in this NFC South matchup, I got the Atlanta Falcons.
All right. Next, we got the Houston Texans taking 0-2, taking on Jacksonville Jaguars 1-1. Jacksonville's a favorite by 1.5. Kevin, who do you have in this game?
Well, if you guys remember, Jacksonville was one of my sleeper teams this year, so I'm taking Jacksonville to beat Houston.
Jacksonville to beat Houston. I am also taking Jacksonville to beat Houston. I know it's 2 weeks in, but Jacksonville kind of looks pretty decent. Houston, I think, still trying to figure things out. I think it's going to be a close one, though. I don't think so. The point spread probably right on. Chris, who do you have?
By 6 points, I have Houston winning.
Going with the Texans. All right, Tim.
Well, Bacon, you're not alone in that foxhole. I think this is going to be. I think Houston's gonna win this game, and I think C.J. Stroud finally wakes up like he'd been sleeping for the most of the preseason. I've got Houston in this game, and I honestly I think it's going to be. I think Houston's going to win this by 10.
Okay. All right. Next game we have the Broncos 1-1 versus the Chargers at 2-0. Chargers are favored by 2.5. I'm going to take the upset. I think Broncos defense is going to show up. I think this is going to be a good showing for Bo Nix. He's going to come back to earth a little bit. I got Broncos in the upset in this one. Chris.
I am glad I'm not the only one picking the Broncos because that's who I have in this matchup.
All right, 2 for the Broncos. Timmy.
Yeah, I don't think it makes a difference that Khalil Mack's going to be out with a dislocated shoulder. I like Bo Nix coming off the snide that he's on, but I truthfully think that the Chargers are playing on a whole nother level. I've got the Chargers in this game.
Okay. And Kevin, what do you got?
I'm going to make it an even 2-2, and I'm also going to take the Chargers as well.
All right. Next game we got is the 0-2 Saints versus the 1-1 Seattle Seahawks. Seattle favored by a touchdown and a half. Chris, who do you have in this game?
Last couple weeks I've picked the New Orleans Saints to win, but this time I think I'm picking Seattle.
All right, going to Seattle. Tim.
Well, I'm going to do what I've probably thought I'm never going to say in my entire life. You know, Bacon didn't pick the Saints. Has taken the Saints the last 2 weeks. Well, you know what, Bacon? I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to take the Saints. I think this is going to be. I think the Saints going to win this game.
Saints versus anybody wins. That is true. Kevin, who do you have?
Yeah, I this was also the other game I almost took as my lock. So I'm taking Seattle Seahawks to win this game.
All right.
I'm
picking Seattle. I'd like to see the Saints turn it around, but I think Seattle's going to take this one. J-Mac, a couple comments here. Falcons are a mess, but Panthers are worse. Yeah, that's true. CJ Stroud does not look like 20. Yeah, his rookie year, can be said. So we have next the mighty Cowboys, 1-1, a 1.5 point favorite, going into Soldier Field to take on the Bears. 0-2. Tim, what do we have?
This one was easy after I remember what happened last week with the Cowboys and the Giants. You go how I'm still at a miss because I'm watching. You're gonna let me rant for a second on this one. I'm watching scores right up in the corner during the Colts game, and I'm like, oh, this is a great game. And I'm looking up and I'm looking at the Cowboy Giants thing. And it said that the Giants had a lead of 37-34 with 3 seconds left. I'm still trying to figure out how they scored a field goal because I didn't see any of the highlights. And I'm like, and then you go completely. You have to take the entire overtime to beat the Giants. I'm going to make somebody very, 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 very happy right now, and it's not going to be Bacon. I am going to take the Bears to beat the Packers, the Cowboys, the Colts, whoever right now, because if you play 5 quarters against the Giants and barely win, I am taking the Bears.
Yeah, their kicker, I don't know the kicker's name, but he's the first kicker to kick 2 field goals with 0 time left on the clock in the fourth quarter, then going into overtime. So, Kevin.
Holly.
1 for the Bears.
I just want you guys to realize you realize they're playing the Bears, right? And the Bears are absolutely trash the first 2 weeks. So this was another game where I was like, clearly, I was almost like, I don't care even if they barely beat the Giants. I'm a Bears fan. I've been watching them. They suck. The quarterback sucks. Their defense is injured. They suck. I'm taking the Cowboys to win this game by 14 plus.
Well, here's the nice little thing is, though, you guys are going against the 31st worst defense in the league. I think you got a shot.
Well, I guess we will make it 2-1 because I am also taking the Bears in this one. I think Cowboys got lucky last week. The Bears, yes, I know, has struggled. They're going to put it together. They can't go 0-17. They got to win one. Let it be against my hated rival, the Cowboys. Yeah, I'm going Bears. Chris?
Hey, Cowboys and Vikings meet up this year, so
Yeah.
but with that, that's right.
We go, Chris.
But I got Dallas. I got Dallas, even though that, yeah, you won against a struggling Giants team, but they showed that they're going to fight their way through a game and they're not going to let up.
Hold on. He said something there that was funny. He said that the Giants were struggling.
Yes.
The Giants at this point were playing on steroids and Adderall and PCP the way they played. If that was struggling, I hate to see what that team looks like on.
I've been struggling before that, and then they.
Yeah, J-Mac. This game that I don't care who wins, but the Cowboys give a 37 to a 60-year-old Russell Wilson. So,
60-year-old.
All right, the next game we got to round off Sunday night or Sunday football before the night game. We have the Cardinals at 2-0. Kind of a surprise, I think. Versus the 2-0 49ers. 49ers are 2.5. Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy is out. Mac Jones gets the start. Chris, who do you have in this one?
You know, since Purdy's been out, it's been kind of interesting because you got Kyler Murray in Arizona, who's been playing good the first two games. And then you have a backup in San Francisco. But considering that the 49ers are at home, I'm going to San Francisco.
All right, going Niners. Tim.
Yeah, again, they give 3 points away for being the home team, right?
Typically, yeah.
All right, Cardinals win.
All right. I like that thinking, Tim. Kevin.
Before I pick my team here, I looked it up here. Brock Purdy actually has a chance to play despite his left shoulder and toe. So with that being said, I'm actually going to change my pick to the 49ers.
All right. Change to the 49ers. I am also going to go with the 49ers. I think if Purdy plays, better chance. If Mac Jones plays, got a 50-50 chance because, you know, Mac Jones still doesn't seem to be like the guy that was hyped up coming out of college. So we got that. All right, the Sunday night game, we have the 0-2 Kansas City Chiefs versus the 0-2, almost 1-1 New York Giants. Chiefs are favored by 6.5. Tim, who do you have?
Well, you know, we've got two struggling teams here, the Giants and the Chiefs. One's struggle looks different than the other. Golly, you know, if the Giants would have won that game, I'm still picking the Chiefs.
All right, going Chiefs. Kevin.
Yeah, I think I'm pick the Chiefs as well.
All right. Chris, who do you have?
Make it 3 for 3. I got Kansas City.
Yeah, I got Kansas City too. I can't see them going 0-3, and somebody could, if they do, this is probably the first time ever that Mahomes has gone 0-3. Three straight losses.
It's the first time he's gone 0-2. Right now, it's the first time he's gone 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So let's get into the Monday night game. Could be a Super Bowl preview matchup. Definitely going to be, I think, game to watch. The Detroit Lions 1-1 versus the Baltimore Ravens 1-1. Ravens are 4.5 point favorites. Kevin, who do you have in this game?
I have the Baltimore Ravens.
All right. And J-Mac puts up there, Giants will be lucky if the Chiefs don't put up 50. That'd be a stretch, man. I don't see them.
Well, no, because they're struggling. They're going to put up 65.
Yeah,
The Giants are struggling. It's going to be the Giants are struggling. They're going to put up 65.
Yeah.
But that means the Giants are going to put up 64.
Yeah. I got the Lions. I think that defense, I know it was against the Bears, but I think that defense is legit. It'll be, like I said, interesting matchup how they're going to stop Lamar and King Henry from running. But I got the Lions. Chris?
Is that line total before or after overtime? Just kidding. I got Detroit, and the funny thing is that some people are saying that, hey, the last 3 seasons we've got, Detroit has gone 0-3 or 0-2 the last few years, so don't panic.
All right. Tim?
I would have this game would have been a whole lot closer, except there's one player that has disappeared from the Detroit Lions completely, and that's Jahmyr Gibbs. Where's he been? He's got 132 yards rushing this year, and it's almost like he's either not part of the game plan or they've gone away from him. You got to get back to him. The only way this game's going to be close if you bring Jahmyr Gibbs back into the game and into the game plan again. But the thing is, you're doing it against the wrong team in the Ravens. I'd be panicking if I'm Detroit right now if you lose this game, and I've got them losing this game. I've got the Ravens.
All right, guys. So that's our picks for the week. Do what you want with them. Hopefully, we have some good results and good games. So let's get into it. Tim, your Prime 5. I can't wait to hear what this one's about.
As we know, that I was been told that 1/6 of the NFL teams are starting a backup quarterback. And that's if you add out the fact is that Jaden Daniels is going to be out this week. So I've decided to go backup quarterbacks with the best chance of winning in week 3. My number 5, well, we're just going to take it out right now. I'm going to say Marcus Mariota because if he doesn't start, then I don't feel bad against the Raiders. My number 4 team is Tyrod Taylor against the Buccaneers. It's still the Buccaneers defense. My number 3 is Mac Jones against the Cardinals, and everybody who, if they believe what I say, the Cardinals are winning that game anyway. My number 2 team, and I took this team to win. So why is it my number 2? Is because he's facing a guy who's basically Joe Burrow part 2. My number 2 is Carson Wentz against the Bengals, and my number 1 is Jake Browning against the Vikings.
Wow. So there's a chance you're saying the Vikings can win.
And there's a chance. And the funny thing is, the Vikings at one point had Jake Browning.
Yeah, they sure did. So, no, like that Prime 5. What do you guys think? Kevin, what do you think of that Prime 5?
Yeah, I mean, it is an interesting one. That's, always fun to, do a whole different scenario like that. Yeah, and like you said, I'm surprised that you didn't put the Vikings guy one if you got him winning. And Bengals too. But
yeah, who knows? That game could be Chris, we'll call it maybe a tie. Neither team can move the ball. So, Chris, what do you think of that Prime 5?
Good Prime 5, although I don't know if Carson Wentz is, similar or like Joe Burrow because he already got a Super Bowl.
Browning is like Joe Burrow. Yeah.
Yeah, he came out of LSU, I believe, and kind of had that same route, I guess. So, yeah, I could see that. It's a good list, too. So
it is a good list. I honestly would consider Wentz a Joe Burrow wannabe, too, because they put up good numbers, but they always somehow get those injuries. I mean, Wentz is on his 6th team in 6 years. Bengals are stuck with Burrow, maybe due to the contract. I don't know. I think that game is going to be a good one. Hopefully, some teams can move the ball. All right, let's get into some fantasy talk. I know I'm not even going to look at my teams. I got smoked over and over again, and I didn't even want the smoke. But I took a tough L in a lot of my leagues, especially the one against the rookie there. So I know I'm struggling. Prime Moose, Tim, how you doing?
I got punched in the face by a fake bacon.
A fake bacon.
I was supposed to win that game by 10, and then all of a sudden I lose the same game by the projections on the opposite side. This week I got beat, as I think I said it backstage of Rankum. I said I got beat by Sizzling, but this week I play against bacon. I get bacon. I get the real bacon this week. Ooh, doggy. I'm not a fan of bacon. I like bacon as the guy, but I can't stand bacon. I'm maybe 100% real man, but I can't deal with bacon. That stuff is nasty. And
all right,
but guess what? It's going to be one of them games. But I got bacon points. I might have to put the rookie treatment on him and start Daniel Jones this week, just for fun.
All right, Chris, you're sitting at 2-0. You gonna do some trash talking here?
I was contemplating, still am. Since in both, I'm it's 2-0. Do I change my lineup or do I keep it the same?
Oh no!
I don't know.
Just make sure the right players are playing. So,
I
got Jake Browning too. Oh.
All right, Kevin.
Yeah,
with the most points in our league by 0.5 over Tim's brother Ryan. So
yeah, I think I play Ryan this week, and he's supposed to spank me by like 7 points this week.
Yep.
There's literally nothing I can do with lineup wise. But yeah, I pulled a Prime Moose here. I started Mac Jones, and he got me 27 points, along with my trio of receivers who got me 37, 38, and 22, with a final score of 147 to 68. And then
did you play hold on. Did you play the Cleveland Browns?
He might as well have.
Or the struggling Giants? Just curious.
He might as well. He could have played them both.
Could have combined both of them probably.
Yeah.
But and then the next day after that, I go ahead and I make a trade with Brandon. I traded him J.K. Dobbins and Hollywood Brown for Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah. So I did not put up the least amount of points last week. That goes to mess around. He put up 59. So there's at least one team I could have beat last week. But yeah, it was rough. I couldn't do anything. So as the standing goes in the Midwest, Chris is 2-0, followed by 4 teams tied at 1-1. Cherry leading the way with his neighbors. Death from Within is back. Primetime Blitz is there. And Tim with his Italian, whoever he got to call, he cuts off here. And then I'm sitting 0-2. In the West, we got Blitz Happy, J-Mac, and the other control team, the Cannon Bears, or Bombers, are 2-0. Tim Fielder is 1-1, tied with young mess around son Justin's scary team 1-1, and then Dragon Viper and mess around are both at the bottom at 0-2. So
hey, did you trade to Dragon Viper?
I proposed the trade. Dragon Viper probably won't get on. But my proposed trade is Jordan Mason. I would get, and he would get Quinson Jenkins. So both running backs. We'll see. I would have traded him the best quarterback in San Francisco history, Jerry Rice, but I don't have him on our roster. So
Kevin looked at you like, going, wait, did you just say
there's a long story behind that one there, Kevin. So we got a few minutes left. I know we're at the hour mark, but I do want to kind of touch on this a little bit. Chris, you got that little slide up?
That's what she said.
Yeah.
All right. So I saw this on a Facebook post. Which decade has the best receivers? The 90s with Rice. Let me blow it up here. Michael Irvin, Tim Brown, Chris Carter. 2000s, Moss, Owens, Marvin Harrison Sr., Torrey Holt. Oh, Chris, you're fine. You can put us back on there.
No, it's better. These are better looking guys.
2010, Calvin Johnson, Julio Jones, Larry Fitzgerald, Antoine Brown, and the 2020s with Jefferson, Chase, Adams, and Hill. Kevin, what decade do you think has the best 4 receivers?
Oh, I can tell you.
Well, you see, I wasn't alive for the 90s.
Okay.
And I would have caught a little bit of 2000s. But personally, I think the 2010s with Calvin Johnson, Julio Jones, Fitzgerald, and Antonio Brown, personally, I think that's the best tandem of receivers.
All right, Chris, another young guy in the group. What do you think?
I wasn't around much of the. I mean, I was born in the 90s, but I was little. Can't really say 90s. I was kind of in the middle of the pack of the 2000s. I could say that, that decade. I'm probably going to go with 2010s. Either 2000s or 2010s, but most likely the 10s.
All right.
I saw more of Calvin Johnson and Larry Fitzgerald. And,
All right, Tim, me and you are the old guys here, so we've seen all 4 of these decades. So,
Yeah. And the thing is, I think if one player that's not on that list played for another, I'd say one more year. I don't think you see Chris Carter on this list. I really don't.
Ooh.
I don't think he's actually. Truthfully, no, forget it. You don't see Michael Irvin on this list.
Ooh.
I think you see Sterling Sharp on this list before you see Michael Irvin.
Ooh.
I think that alone by itself should make this list null and void. But I've seen, how many of these guys have I seen live? I've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the stadium, 6, 7, no, 6. Yeah. I saw 6 of these guys live. I saw Jerry Rice live. I saw Carter live, Moss live, Owens live, Harrison Sr. live, and Torrey Holt live. Considering there's the number of people in the top 10 in receiving yards, I'm taking the 2000s.
Ooh.
No,
J-Mac met the 90s. Yeah. Man, I'm with Tim on that. I think if Sharp saw a couple more years, I think Irving's off of that list. God, it's tough. I mean, they all had good stuff. I think if I'm building a team, I need 2 receivers. I'm going Rice and Carter, so I'm taking the 90s as the best wide receiver group. It's a tough makings there, but you got a lot of consistent players. All Chris Carter does is catch touchdowns. Jerry Rice, but yeah, I'm going to the 90s. I think we got one from each decade. I think actually.
The weird thing is that's like, Reggie Wayne is 10th on the list in receiving yards, right? And he's not even in the best 2000s, and it's kind of weird because I looked at the numbers and Holt had better numbers because he came in 98 and only played until 2009, where Wayne came in 2004 and finished in 17. He crosses 2 decades, but if you look at it, pure numbers for the 2000s, yeah, you got just the numbers on the 2000s alone. I think you got to go 2000s.
Okay. All right. So let's fill it because J-Mac throws it up here again that J-Mac or Dragon Viper's favorite, or said Jerry Rice was the only quarterback. So, Kevin, just to fill you in, we used to play a game, Jeopardy style game. I think no, it was Family Feud we were playing, and we had two teams, and Dragon Viper, Randy Cox was on one side, and the question I can't remember. I think it was best San Francisco quarterbacks. I think, and right or Montana Young was guest. It comes up to Dragon Viper, and he's without second guessing. He's like Jerry Rice, and we all just lost it. Chris will have to find you the tail of the tape on that one.
I will. Yeah.
Maybe we could have it. Maybe we could have it for next week to cover it. But yeah, it was a hoot. We all had fun with that one. But
That's like it's like who's the Ravens quarterback, and you say Derrick Henry.
yeah. So with that being said, guys, Chris, any final thoughts?
No, I mean, thanks everyone for commenting and watching and tuning in. It's going to be a fun week 3. Hopefully it's anything like the first 2 weeks. But you never know in the NFL.
Yep. Kevin, thoughts on week 3 and anything else?
Other than I'm hoping the Bears win so you guys can get your pick right. But Bears still suck.
Oh, we knew that anyway.
Yeah. I'm hoping to go 2-1, even though I'm, 7 deficit right now in fantasy football. But Brandon was also a 6-point favorite to beat me last week, and turned out to be a 80-point difference.
Yeah. Let's move on.
But yeah, just ready for week 3. Continuing, hopefully I can do a little bit better on my week 3 picks because last week I think I finished 8-8. So
yep.
Hopefully we can do a little bit better this week.
All right, Tim. Prime moves.
Yeah.
What you got?
It's week 3. Hopefully I can repeat my 13-3 from last week. But again, shouldn't have lost the Steelers, shouldn't have lost the Vikings, and shouldn't have lost the Broncos. Those were guarantees. Those were give-me's. How in the hell did that work out? At this point, outside of the Thursday night game, Prime is going to be really heavily when this game goes completely off the rails, like it's going to go. Prime is going to start showing advertisements for all their great shows, and they're going to start pumping out Fallout, and they're going to start pumping out things that they show. So watch out for that. But other than that, outside of that game, I think this week's going to be exciting. I think there's potential of being probably one of the best weeks of the year. But it's the NFL. Everything's got a chance of being a potentially great week of the year. But excited. Nipples not so hard like week 1, but we're good. We're semi-rigid. And like I want to make a comment because Bacon said something amazing, and I almost wanted to say that's what she said, and almost got me in trouble. So I shut my mouth. But you can tell Brandon's thinking, what did he say? And I can see the look on his face going, what did he say? And then, all I have to say to everybody, those of you in the comments, thanks for coming. And I will see you next week on Rank 'em. Yeah.
Yep. With that being said, keep joining us. Entertainment Hour. We may have our baseball preview show coming up. We'll sit down with Chris and maybe Kevin could join us, talk some postseason baseball. We'll figure out a date on that. Speaking of that, congrats to the Cubs. They're in the wild card. So we got some excitement there.
Why?
Just saw Toddy hit a nice bomb
Why?
there, so
Why?
he's got the Dodgers up.
Why?
4-0, I think.
Calm down. We're a football show. We don't talk about those little prepubescent bears over there. We don't. I'm a Brewers fan, so I've got every right to say, shut this down.
Well, you better be ready because
Finally,
they're gonna win a lot of games.
Good luck to the St. Paul Bears as they go for win number 3, home opener. If I get off work in time, I might go check them out. But with that being said, good luck to them guys. So with that being said, we'll see y'all next week on Primetime Blitz.